Hey everyone, I'm Ms. Mulkowski, the mathematician, and today we are going to talk about writing a logarithmic equation in exponential form. Alright, so there's multiple ways to do this, and I'm going to show you those different ways. And they're kind of quick, so instead of doing a whole big, way 1, way 2, way 3, which you sometimes see me do, instead I'm just going to talk quickly and I'll identify to you when I'm doing a new way. So, the first way that we can do this is to use the definition of a logarithm, okay? And so, the definition of a logarithm is that log, okay, and I'm going to use a lot of colors here. I got to be careful though so I don't color on myself because then, well, it doesn't come out. So log base b, okay, and I'll leave these off, living dangerously here. Log base b of x, okay, leave it off to save time. Log base b of x equals y, okay, log base b of x equals y, if and only if by the way, that can be abbreviated IFF, okay, IFF is if and only if and only if, let's see if I can hold these all and do this, okay, if and only if b, oops, here we go, to the y equals, what do you think? X, very good, b to the y equals x. All right, so there's a reason, there's a method to my madness with all the colors here, all right? So log base b of x equals y, if and only if b to the y equals x. All right, so for my students that like to do it this way, I tell them, use colors if you can, all right? And then here it is. Here's our example. Log base 2 of 8 equals 3. We want to write it in exponential form. So we have it in this form. We want to write it in this form. So we just need to identify what is my A. What is my A? What am I saying? What is my B? What is my Y? What is my X? Okay? So there's a reason I used colors because it allows you to kind of see what matches, and what the corresponding part is. Okay? So B is my base. Okay? B is my base and that is 2. So I always recommend that they write b equals 2 or whatever b equals, okay? X is going to be 8, okay? So x equals 8. And then y over here is 3, so y equals 3. Now, here it is in logarithmic form, so if I want to put it into exponential form, I know exponential form is b to the y equals x. Okay, so b to the y equals x. Whoa. All right, so then I know what my b is, I know what my x is, and I know what my y is. All right, so I literally just fill it in. So b is 2. So 2 to the y, which is 3, okay, equals x, which in this case is 8. Awesome. All right, so there you go. So that is the answer. That is how, there we go, I'll box it for us. Okay, that is how we write log base 2 of 8 equals 3 in exponential form. It's 2 to the third equals 8. All right, because remember, log is saying what power do I, like log base 2 of 8 is saying what power do I need to raise 2 to get 8? Okay, so it's 2 to the third is what's going to give me 8, all right? So there you go. So that's just, if you remember the definition that log base b of x equals y, if and only if b to the y equals x, you can just simply rewrite any logarithmic equation in exponential form. All right, so that's the first way. So the second way, you may have heard teachers call it like the circle or the swoosh or whatever, you know what I mean? And that is still using this definition, okay? But it's kind of adding in a little visual to it. So I'm going to erase this right now, okay? And I'm going to just erase, I guess I can keep that there so you can see it, all right? Well, look at this. If I were to start here, okay, and draw a circle around and come back, it tells you the order to do things. So b to the y equals x. So think about going around in a circle, and if you kind of go, here's the first thing I write, the second thing I write, the third thing I write, you put everything in the order of the circle. So b to the y equals x, right? So you start over here and then you end right here, okay? B to the y equals x, all right? So I'm going to rewrite this just in black because we're not going to use colors for this. So if I were to write log base 2 of 8 equals 3, and I'm going to use the circle method or the swoosh method or whatever your teacher might call it, you just draw the circle, and that's the order that you do things. Because remember, b to the y equals x, so you're going to go 2 to the third equals 8. 2 to the third equals 8. So there you go. And with these easier ones, you'll know. Like, let's say you were like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going to go where. I know I have a 2, a 3, and an 8, and I don't know what to put where. Well, let's say a lot of kids will get the 2 right? Because the base is the base. Whether it's the base, okay, if it's log base b, so the base is the base here, and the base is the base here. So a lot of kids will get that right. But then they forget, is it 3 goes here or 8 goes here? So let's say you wrote it like this. I mean, that's clearly incorrect, right? 2 to the 8th is not 3, all right? So that's another way to check if it's something smaller that you can do in your head. Obviously, if you're dealing with variables or other things, you might get it wrong, but if you are just doing something, and by the way, your teacher's not going to give you something incorrect. They're not going to write log base 2 of 8 equals 5, right? They won't do that because that's incorrect, right? So you can rest assured, okay, that if it's a true statement, that when you write it in exponential form, you will end up with something that is correct, okay? All right, so now let's talk about the third way. And the third way is kind of more intuitive, okay? And this is really important. In math, it's so important that we understand why. I mean, yes, it's great that we have the colors. It's great that we can write what b is, what x is, what y is, and then kind of put them all in. It's great to have the circle or the swoosh or whatever you call it, right? But it's also good to understand what it means, okay? What does everything mean here? So when I say log base 2 of 8, what is that? Well, what it is it's saying this equals, or this is, the power that I have to raise 2 to get 8. So you say in your head when you see this, what does this mean? This means, or this is, what power do I need to raise 2 to get 8? What power do I need to raise 2 to get 8? So then you can say to yourself, okay, what power do I need to raise 2 to get 8? So if you can do that in your head and say, oh, I need to raise 2 to the third, so then this equals 3, that's awesome. Okay, but if you can't, you can take that extra step and you can say, okay, what power do I need to raise 2 to get 8? And then at that point, you're going to say, oh my gosh, it's 3. 2 to the third equals 8. Okay, so then it's 3. 3 is the power that I need to raise 2 to get 8. Okay, so then you know, all right, so then log base 2 of 8 equals 3. So it's all about understanding. You take this away, it's saying, what power do I need to raise 2 to get 8? That's the answer. That's what this equals. That's what log base 2 of 8 equals. So there you go. Hey everyone, I'm Ms. Milkowski, the mathematician, and I hope you found that last video helpful. If you have any questions or if there are any topics you'd like to see me cover in future videos, definitely let me know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm going to leave you with the most important piece of advice I can give you, which is when you're doing mathematics, always ask why.